Hello and welcome to another video session, BNFX Trader video session. Our website is www.bnfxtrader.com. Please like our videos, subscribe to our channel, hit the notification button at the bottom so that you see more videos when we release them, and also make comments, give us feedback, ask questions. We'll try as much as possible to answer your questions. Today we'll be looking at how to analyze Volatility Index 75 with Mega Smash strategy. How to analyze Volatility Index 75 with Mega Smash strategy. Mega Smash strategy is a very good strategy. You can use it to analyze any forex currency pair. You can also use it to analyze any index, whether it's volatility index, whether it's step index. If it is boom and crash, you can use Mega Smash strategy to analyze these assets. But for today, we'll be analyzing volatility index 75 with Mega Smash strategy. Right on the screen, I have volatility index 75 15 minutes time frame. We'll be analyzing V75 on the 15 minutes time frame with Mega Smash strategy. Now I have the chart in display. So what I'll do first of all is to map out the period separator. I'll map out the period separator. And how do I achieve this? I'll right click on the chart, then I'll go to properties. On properties, I'll click on show period separator so that period separator will map out the day period. Okay, now this is period separator. The next thing I'll do is to separate the chart, the V75 15 minutes time frame chart, into 4-hour periods with vertical lines. I'll separate the chart into 4-hour periods with vertical lines. Vertical lines, I'll get that from objects, vertical line. So the first 4-hour is my first 4-hour, and the second 4-hour, separate all the 4-hour periods. Okay, there's another one. Another one. So what I'm trying to do is to separate, to divide my chart into 4-hour periods so that I can analyze V75 with Mega Smash strategy. Okay, that's that. Now the next thing is to plot the closing price. I'm going to mark out the closing price of the first 4-hour. I'll place horizontal line on that mark, and also map out I'll identify the closing price of the next 4-hour, and I also place horizontal line on that point so that I'll have more like a rectangular shape of how price moved. Did price move upwards or did it slide downwards? So that's what I want to achieve. So I'm going to plot out the closing price of the first 4-hour with that of the next 4-hour. So this is the closing price of the first 4-hour. Then I'm also going to place horizontal line on the next, is the closing price of the next 4 hour. So I have like like a rectangular shape of how price moved. This is the rectangular shape showing that price moved when price closed here, and we have the period separator for the day. Price moved to this point and closed here. So I have a rectangular shape of my how price dropped. So I'm just going to delete this rectangle. I'll try to delete the rectangle because it's not part of what I want to use. So closing price of the initial 4 hour to the closing price of the next 4 hour. That's that. Now the next thing I will do is I will divide let me retain the rectangle so that we can understand what I want to explain. Okay, what I will do next is to divide this box. I have mapped out the rectangular shape of how price dropped. Price dropped from this point to this point within this 4-hour period. So I'm going to divide this box into two. I'll achieve that with another horizontal line. So it's not as if I have to get an accurate measure or division, but I'll just assess or divide it just by mere looking at the box. So I don't really need to calculate the point and start to calculate divide by 2. No, just by mere looking at that, I don't really have to get the exact division. So just by mere looking at it, I'll divide it into 2. Now after dividing the box into 2, I already know that it's a price slided from here to this point. So I'll aim to mark my support or resistance on the upper side. Since I have a slide, I'll mark my support or resistance point on the upper side of the divided box on the next 4-hour period. If price dropped from the one end of the 4-hour period to the other end, then I'll have a resistance on the next 4-hour period. Now, for me to have a resistance on the next 4-hour period, I have to divide that particular box. I'm talking about here. I'll divide the rectangular box here into 2. So let me divide this rectangular box into 2. Then I'll map out this particular line with another rectangle to form my resistance. Now let me color this. I apply this to red color. This will form my resistance. Now what I just did is I just plotted out my resistance point here. So price dropped from here to this point, and I have a resistance marked out in line with the mega smash strategy. Now I'll move to the next 4-hour. Price is closed at this point, and there's another close here. So I'm going to I'm going to mark out the closing point here. with another rectangular line, with another horizontal line. So I'll divide this into two. My current box, let me highlight it with another color. This is my current rectangular box. So I'm going to divide this rectangular box into two. Okay, this is divided into two. Now the movement of price movement it's slided from this point to this point. So I will have a resistance on the upper box. I'm talking about this upper box. I have a resistance here at the middle. So I can divide this with another rectangular with another horizontal line. Then I'll get another rectangular shape with a color red to map out my resistance. So the way it works is, if price dropped within the period, you have a resistance. If price jumped within the period, as in price rose from the lower part of the rectangle to the upper part of the rectangle, you have a support. So I've mapped out my resistance. This is my resistance. Let me remove the unwanted objects so that we can understand what I've been able to do. Okay, let me remove this. Okay, let me delete this shape. Okay, now that's that. So we have a resistance here, we have another resistance here. Okay, so I'll repeat the procedure up to the current point, the point where the current price is. So to plot the support or resistance for this 4-hour period, I'll come here. I have marked this point as my closing price of the previous 4-hour. So, and the closing price of this current 4-hour is around here. So I also place a horizontal line there. Now this is where I'm working with. This is the rectangular block box I'm gonna work with. I'll color that orange or gold. Let me call it gold. Now what I'll do is map out the box. This is the box we are working with now. Working with this, and price dropped from here to this point. So what I'll do is I'll divide this rectangular box into two. Now since I have a drop, I'll be mapping out my resistance around here. So let me color the point where I'll be mapping out my resistance here. So what I'll do is to divide this particular box into two. Is it okay? Let me map out the resistance point. Just get a shape, a rectangular shape, change it to another color. Okay, that's that. So let me remove all the objects that I do not need. I do not need this. Okay, let me just leave this here. I do not need this too. Okay, so this is my resistance point mapped out. So I'll also continue the step and the process, be able to achieve 1, 2, 3. We have 3 resistances. Now we are going to continue up to the place where price is currently located. Now for me to continue, I've already mapped out the closing price here. So the next closing point is around here. I'm talking about this place. So I'm going to get the rectangular shape to I'm going to use the rectangular shape to identify what I'm talking about. Price closed here and also closed here for this particular 4-hour period. So we have a rise. We've been having like a fall in the last 1 2 3 1 2 1 2 3. So we have like 3 resistances, so we may have a support. Okay, so this is the rectangular box I'm working with right now. So I'm going to divide it into two. I'm going to divide it into two. Now price rose from this point to this point, so I'll be having a support around here. I'll be having a support around here. Let me map out, map out what I'm talking about. My support will be in this area. So for me to map out the exact point where my support is, I'll divide that box into two, and then I'll use a red colored shape to map out the support zone. Now my support zone should be around here. That's where my support zone should be. Let me remove the shape that I do not need. Okay, now I have a resistance, another resistance, then a final resistance, then I now have a support here. 3 resistances showing a descent. A price descended, from here to here, this point. Now I'm having a support, so I expect price to ascend, to start to rise. So the next thing is to continue to map out my supports. I should be having supports going forward. So to do that, my closing price for the last 4-hour period is here, and another closing price for this current 4-hour period is around here. So I'll move my horizontal line to that point. Price closed here and also closed here, so I have like a rise. Price rose from this point to this point. So I'm going to map out the point I'm talking about with the rectangular shape. This is a box showing that price moves from this period to this period, so I have an ascent. Okay, so I'll divide this box into two. I'll divide the box into two. Then I also expect to have another box here to show where I expected to map out my support around here. So to do that, I'll divide this box into two, and I'll get a rectangular shape colored in red. I use it to identify where my support should be. Support should be there. Okay, so let me remove the objects I do not need. I do not need this. I do not need this. Let me just make this grid out. Okay, now I have two supports, so I'm going to continue up to this point. So what do? I already have the closing point for this 4-hour period. I'll map out the closing point for this next 4-hour period, and that's around here. And I'm going to shape it out with a box, a rectangular box, so that you can understand what I'm talking about. Now price closed here, price also closed here. So I'm going to divide this box into two, and that's that. Now we are in an ascending trend. So I will expect a support around here if price is going to drop. So I expect my support to be around this point. So what I will do is divide that point into 2, and then with I'm going to divide that point into 2, and with another rectangular shape, I'll try to, colored in red, I'll try to map out my support, where I expect my support to be in case price falls. So I expect my support to be around here, just in case price drops. Price should find support around there. So I do not need this. Let me put it aside. Let me grid this out. Now that's that. Now for the next 4 hours, as you can see, we are on the last 15 minutes candle bar. So let's assume the price will close around here. So what I'll do, I already have my closing point for this 4-hour period around here. So what I will do is to, let's assume the price will close at this current point. I'll place my mark there. Then, as usual, the rectangular shape, I'll use it to map out how price rose. We are still in an ascent. Price still rising. So the support here, support here, support here. So we're trying to locate support for the next 4 hours. Although this current 4 hour is not concluded yet, until this candle bar, this current candle bar closes before we'll conclude. But we are just trying to be proactive to have an idea of where our support will be located. So I need a vertical line. It's gonna be here. Next 4 hours should be around here. So I have my box, so we should expect a support around here. Let me divide this into 2. This is divided into 2. So if price closed at that point where I marked it, you should expect a support around there. So it's a rectangular box. Now divide this into 2 again to locate where support is supposed to be. Okay, so I should find my support around there if price closed on this line. If price closed on this line, I should find my support around here. Or even if it closes here, it's just for me to move my vertical lines just a bit. So I'm still in order. So now what I'll do next is I'll map out the lowest price point on this current 4 hour. This 4 hour is almost concluded, so I should have another 4 hour in the next 6 minutes. So I should have another 4 hour to work with. So this, I assume this 4 hour is almost concluded. Are they being prices are in the middle, not towards the end here? Are they being prices at the middle, still trying to form a candle bar somewhere around in the middle? I'll work with this 4 hour, but I'm working with this particular 4 hour period because it's almost concluded. So I want to preempt or predict price movement for this next 4 hour. So I'll locate where the lowest price point is on this current 4 hour, and this the lowest price points at this particular point. So I'll place a horizontal line there. I also locate where the highest price point is around here. Place another horizontal line there. So that is that. Let me delete what I do not need. Okay, now Now this is my highest point. If price breaks and close above this point, I should expect some bullish move. This is my lowest point for the 4 hour. If price breaks and close below this particular line, I should expect reversal or retracement. Now let me load up the moving average, 21 exponential moving average. Okay, now the next thing for me to do is to use trend line to map out connecting lines that will connect my support and resistance zones. So from the middle of the support or the resistance, I'll connect to the middle of the next support or resistance. So, and that is this from one midpoint of the shape to another midpoint. Okay, let's just leave that. Okay, the next one connects from the midpoint to midpoint. Okay, and the next one is connect from midpoint to midpoint. Okay, that's that. The next one is to connect now we have resistance, and we have our support. Support started here. Support, connect support with the trend line. Connect support with the trend line. Connect support with the trend line. Okay, now we can see how price dropped up to this point. Then we have a reversal as price starts to rise. It's currently rising, and the idea about this strategy is if price breaks and if the golden colored moving average, the gold colored moving average, if crosses above my trend line, my cyan colored trend line, then I have a reversal or a retracement, just like what happened here. But if price drops and this gold colored moving average, 21 moving average, crosses down on the cyan, I should expect a reversal or retracement. So if price is now drops and closes below, if price drops and closes below the support here, I should expect retracement or reversal. But if price drops and closes on the support and then start to rise or jump on the support, then I should expect my trend continuation. Don't forget, I also said that if price drops and closes below this line showing the lowest point for this current 4 hour, if price drops and closes below the line, then I should have like a reversal or retracement. But just like what we have on the support, if price drops on the line and bounces on that line, I should expect like a consolidation or a continuation of the current trend. So the main idea about this strategy is it preempts what price may likely do. If price is going to continue, if price is going to reverse, if price is going to retrace, or if price is going to be in a range, this strategy will point it out or highlight it for you. So like we can see on the chart right now, there's a considerable space between a gold colored moving average and the cyan colored trend line. So we have like a space and they are both ascending. So we should expect volatility index 75 to continue in an upward movement. So that's that about this strategy. It's a very good strategy. You like it, just try to backtest it and see how you can use it to your advantage when trading volatility index or forex. You can also use this strategy to trade gold, XAU USD. So that's that. We want you to go to our website www.binfxtrader.com to learn more about the mega smash strategy. Also like our video, subscribe to our channel, share the YouTube link so that your friends and your family can see and learn about it. It's a good strategy. Then make comments, give us feedback, ask questions. We'll try as much as possible to answer your questions. Then hit the notification button so that when we release more videos on other strategies, you'll be the first to see it.